Hacking 3D printers to run on USB-C, this time on Hack 5. Holy shit, this is heavy. Hey everyone, Glytch here and welcome back to Hack 5. As you saw in the intro, today we're going to be talking about running 3D printers on USB-C power. Now this means power banks, this means power bricks, this means car chargers so that you could run it in a vehicle. The reason I'm doing this is I have a pretty big project coming up where one of the components is going to be a 3D printer that's really efficient and runs on low power. So I picked up a Monoprice Select Mini, and specifically the V2, and it runs on about 80 to 90 watts of input. Now, that's actually really low, specifically low enough to run on USB-C, which maxes out at 100 watts. Now that's part of the issue with the USB power distribution standard, which is the power subset of the USB-C standard, and it allows you to select from multiple voltages. I believe it's 5, 9, 12, 15, and 20 volts at up to 5 amps each. So you do the math, and we want 12 volts to run this printer at 5 amps, and you're only going to get 60 watts. So I had to use 20 volts. Well, now this printer would get fried if you tried to put 20 volts of power directly into it. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, is how I got around that issue and what some sacrifices you can expect to make running something on USB-C or USB power distribution. I personally use USB power distribution constantly. It is my new favorite thing. As much as people dislike change, it is the best USB-C standard we've ever had. My laptop that I'm actually using as my entire desktop right now is USB-C powered. My soldering iron is USB-C powered. Now my 3D printer is USB-C powered. I even charge my drone batteries off of USB-C, both my Mavic Mini batteries with a modded power supply, as well as my FPV drone batteries. So USB-C has a lot to offer, and I don't even carry a USB micro cable anymore. I carry a USB micro adapter for the occasional times I need to charge like earbuds or some kind of smart device, IoT something or other. That said, USB-C is quickly taking over, and it's no wonder why. When you can have one power supply and one battery bank and one cable that will run all of your devices, you're not going around hunting for power banks of 15 volt devices and 12 volt devices all mixed together. They all negotiate happily with each other and everything just works. Early on, there were issues with the standard, as any new up-and-coming standard has, where there was issues with this setting fire to that, or if you plugged this phone into that power brick, you might not have a nice day. However, most of those have been resolved as the standard's been around for several years and has matured quite readily. Fast forward to today, and you can get adapters called USB-C power triggers that will let you run anything that draws under 100 watts on USB-C. It does take a little bit of trickery now and then. In the example of this printer, I'd use a buck converter. And that is basically a device that takes a higher voltage and relatively efficiently chops it to a lower voltage. Now I said relatively efficiently because anytime you're converting power, there are going to be losses. It's just a matter of how much. In the case of this little buck converter I have, it's roughly 5 to 8%. So that means 5 to 8% of the power you're using is kind of getting turned into heat. Now this is generally considered acceptable. However, if you wanted to improve the efficiency, you could get more expensive buck converters that will have an inefficiency in the range of 3 to 5% rather than 5 to 8%. Of course, anytime you're converting from a higher voltage to a lower voltage, the bigger the delta between those two voltages is going to further increase your efficiency loss or decrease your efficiency. So for example, you'll be more efficient converting between 12 and 15 volts than say 12 and 20 volts. Now let's talk a little bit about the actual power usage to print something. For example, you may all recognize this. This is the canister drone project I've been working on for a while, and I actually printed this whole frame that you see here on this printer powered by USB-C. Now for the test, instead of a battery, I used my RAVPower 90 watt GAN power brick so that I could ensure that I had enough power to complete the print. And it's a good thing I did, because to print this 2-hour PETG print in an open air space, I had to use roughly 125 watt hours, or about 6.4 amp hours at 20 volts, I believe it was. There are things we can do to improve the efficiency. PETG is a really power intensive filament to print, because it needs to run at higher thermals and at slower speeds to avoid stringing. Now, you could increase the layer height to reduce the time of the print. That will reduce the overall power usage, of course. You could insulate the heated bed, which is going to be the biggest power draw, in order to save quite a bit of power. You could insulate the whole printer in an enclosure to avoid how much heat is escaping just to ambient air. And of course, to save the most energy, you could print faster in a less intensive filament, such as PLA, which requires almost no heated bed or no heated bed whatsoever, which would cut your power usage by over 30%. Now, what are some other useful applications of running 3D printers and other devices on USB-C power banks? Well, one advantage is depending on the power bank you use, such as an OmniCharge power bank I have, you could use the battery bank as a UPS, an uninterruptible power supply. Now, a lot of USB-C battery banks are starting to support something called pass-through charging. You can input power from a wall outlet, output power from the battery bank, and you have a inline UPS. So that if the power were to go out, you have several hours of operation from the battery alone. For something like a 3D printer, this could be the difference of finishing a print or it failing, even from a quick little brownout. It's invaluable. And using something like the Life Power panels I have, you could even run devices directly on solar power. Assuming they're at a relatively low power. These panels only support 25 watts, but panels and converters out there do exist to get 100 watts of USB-C. Now, right now, I'm not actually aware of any battery banks that will do 100 watts in and out simultaneously. The Zendir power bank that I've been using accepts 100 watts in or out. However, the other port only does 60 watts out. So at most, if you're doing inline charging, you could use up to 60 watts. This printer will actually run down as low as 60 watts if you aren't using the heated bed. So for printing PLA, that's perfect. However, I'm printing a lot of drones and other structural components, and PLA is a little too brittle for my needs. So just to recap, we used a USB-C power trigger and a buck converter to run a 3D printer on USB-C power banks and wall outlets. We talked about using it as a UPS for an uninterruptible power supply for printers and routers and any other critical applications as such. Have you ever modded anything to run on USB-C power, or do you have any ideas from this video? Be sure to let me know down in the description below. Until next time, make sure to check out all of the sweet Hak5 products on the Hak5 shop, and I've been Glytch. Glytch out.
Thanks for supporting Hak5. Find all our shows, community, and pentest products at hak5.org.